What is the spiritual opportunity that is presented to us with Shabbat HaGadol? Let's step back for a moment and think about the receiving of Torah more generally. In part, the way that Am Yisrael was able to receive Torah was because we first experienced Shabbat in Mar'eh. We had to go through Shabbat in Mar'eh before we could receive the Torah. Shabbat is that inner requirement of meeting HaKadosh Baruch Hu before we can approach the idea of Yetziat Mitzrayim, of going out of Egypt and leaving the house of slavery. We need a Shabbat HaGadol before we can experience that great moment of Pesach. It is a Tanai, a necessary precondition. In Yetziat Mitzrayim, we feel our gnai, our diminution, our denigration, our limitation, and we extend ourselves out to relate to the divine. But in order to do that, we must first experience Shabbat. Of Yom Tov, in Egypt, we were told, Vayikru, you are the ones who will declare the Chag itself. The Jewish people gets to decide the time and date of the Yom Tovim. You will set Chag HaAviv. But although we set the months, that is in our grasp. We do not set Shabbat. Shabbat is beyond our grasp. Shabbat is that space that we enter into, that the divine opens for us. Pesach is the space that, although HaKadosh Baruch Hu did all of these nisim, all of these extraordinary miracles for us, we had to take the initiative to go out and meet God. In Pesach, we create a space for the divine, whereas on Shabbat, HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates a space for us, provides us with that necessary precursor, that space for attunement, for developing groundedness in time and place that then allows us to create a Chag. First, there is Vayechlu Hashemayim v'ha'aretz, the earth and the heavens being completed. We recognize that presence of the divine in experiencing Shabbat. And then once we have that, we then have the koach, so to speak, to create the Chagim, where we create a space to meet God. And so with Shabbat HaGadol, with this great and holy day, we experience that primal moment that reflects back to our first Shabbat, the one before we receive Torah. This Shabbat is the one that precedes our being able to experience the Chag HaCherut, the Chag HaAviv, the festival of our freedom. Shabbat Shalom.